Why doesn't anybody do a soup to nuts menu? That would be so great.
Starting with soup and ending with nuts.
That's what it meant.
From soup to nuts. I love that.
There's not enough nuts at the end. Let's be real.
From the Oyster Cellar in gloomy gray, downtown Seattle, it's the Dinner Nut, the only podcast where everybody's Italian except me. Second week in a row.
Our guest today is Jackie Varriano of the Seattle Times, who covers the food scene in neighborhoods across the Puget Sound region. She also is a frequent contributor to the podcast Seattle Eats with Tan Vin. Jackie, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yay. How are you doing?
Good.
How many cups of tea did you drink this morning?
3.
Yeah. 3?
As per usual. Yes. 3.
Did you drink them consecutively in cups or did you pour a thermos full of tea?
I'm not 80. I never. Just me and my thermos. No, I had. I just had made a cup, drank it. Made another cup, drank it.
You didn't pour the teapot down your gullet or anything?
Oh man, no, that'd be amazing. I don't think I have a big enough teapot to do that.
I think you say gullet.
That too. Yeah, what do you think I am, a duck? This isn't a foie gras
I thought you were a
house.
duck when I invited you on the
The
show.
gullet is big enough. The teapot isn't.
Yeah. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
It was a busy week.
How was your week? Yeah.
It was good. I went to Souk, which was a pop-up market in Pioneer Square.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
It was on Saturday, and it was a gathering of Arab makers and coffee places, food purveyors. Really cool event.
Cool.
And I think they do that quarterly.
Did you eat anything?
I had coffee there. And
counts.
Actually, I did have some samples from Tamra, which is a little pastry shop. There was this stuffed date they had, and then this kind of chocolatey, Rice Krispie cake-ish thing. That was delicious.
I want that. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. What'd you do this weekend, Jack?
I went to a going away party.
Okay.
Who went away?
Oh.
Who left?
Who left? My friend Sydney is moving to Berlin.
Nice.
So we had a going away party for her. And we did a total pizza domination party where we ordered pizza from 5 different places.
Oh, my God.
And ate them all and ranked them. And then I got to judge everybody's tasting notes and hand out prizes.
Wow. Did you feel like you had to work, though, a little bit during this?
No, because it was actually my idea. They wanted to just go to a brewery. And I was like, I think we can do better.
Yeah.
Do that.
What were the 5 places?
Moto, Mio Posto, Pagliacci, Sunny Hill, and Tivoli.
Wow,
Nice.
you threw Pagliacci in the ring with those 4.
Well, we kind of needed another delivery option, first of all.
Sure.
And second of all, we needed a high-low,
Sure, yeah.
It's a control.
It's a
for
control.
the for the
it's
experiment.
it's a pure
Yeah.
Seattle control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone's had it. Everyone knows what it is.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, I know what this is. This is it.
So we got a KBBQ one from Moto that had kimchi on it, and it was incredible.
Nice.
It was
Yeah.
so good.
I love it. What did you do, Meg?
It was Mom's extended birthday week, and we
Right.
took her up to see the tulips in Skagit County. Do not do this. It was
Really?
rush hour traffic the whole way,
Oh.
3 or 4 hours. And then you get there, and it's like chock-a-block Disneyland for tulips, and there were thousands of people there, and that's what my mom wanted to do. No hate. She enjoyed it. She thought it was great.
I feel like I saw your photos, and your mom had some pretty hot little snakeskin pants on. Your mom is
Yeah.
adorable.
My mom's
Capital A,
adorable.
adorable.
Yeah, she wears wigs
Yeah.
and she got all dolled up for all the photos and made us take all the photos, and she posed a million times. Those were the best ones.
I mean, love it.
I have a lot of photos of my mom before some tulips on my phone right now. And then I also went to see Ahame Oluo's new show.
Oh, yeah.
Which is being put on by the Intiman at Broadway Performance Hall. And I really, really enjoyed it. It's the 3rd in a trilogy. It's called The Things Around Us. And so he's a jazz musician who's also a comedian, a writer, filmmaker. And he does, it's sort of hard to classify, like a musical monologue. But then he accompanies himself with foot pedals, which sounds kind of janky, but he's playing trumpet and accordion, and he's making loops and basically being his
cool.
own symphony live. He's had a bunch of cardboard boxes around him, and in the PR release it would say, and he drums on cardboard boxes. And you imagine sitting next to a steaming manhole covered, in an alley or something. It was very beautiful, and they were very complicated beats, and he was snapping and he was beatboxing and looping it before our eyes. It was fascinating and beautiful. The music was so gorgeous. So highly recommend Aham's new show, The Things Around Us.
That's cool. Do you know how long it's running?
It's a 10-day run, and I think three of the days are in the past. So I think you have this weekend and maybe next weekend. So
All right.
I read a thing about it for public display art that should be up tonight.
Nice.
I liked it.
I wanted to mention one more thing I did this weekend because it was really fascinating. Is I saw the documentary Food and Country at Stiff Uptown.
Cool.
Are you guys familiar with this documentary?
Nope.
It was incredibly compelling. It featured Ruth Reichel interviewing several different restaurateurs and farmers and food purveyors, grower producers during the very teeth of the COVID shutdown.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
From like March of 2020
Okay.
to I think like March of 2021. It's like a 1 year period.
Oh.
And it was a conversation all about like what is the new normal going to be with the food supply from the perspective of not knowing really, but kind of people sort of talking about how broken everything is and how we really can't go to the way it was before. And these are concepts that I think I've known intrinsically, but not really, you know, like I don't think I've given them the importance that they needed to have. And it made me think about it a lot. There's so many threads from it, you know, and there's so many complicated factors, but I don't know. I couldn't recommend that film more.
I really like Ruth Reichel. She was one of the first like food books that I read, Tender to the Bone, when I was like 16. My grandmother gave it to me. She was like, you would like this book. And it was the first time I read a book from a food writer's perspective about food.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. I just think she's super funny and down to earth.
Yeah. I met her at Feast one year in Portland.
Cool.
It was right after her novel came out. And she did a book signing at the event, but the night before she was on this media bus, and it was like a very awkward media bus because it was a karaoke bus. And there's nothing, you know, you get a bunch of writers on a bus.
Yeah.
And there's just disco lights, and they're really trying hard to make the karaoke happen. And Ruth sat like across the aisle from me, and I just stared at her, and I was like,
what's happening?
No, this is a podcast, so no one can see my face, but I was like,
they can if they see your face on the Mariners game this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
oh, yeah, I forgot I had my MLB debut. I did go to a Mariners game this weekend. There was a home run hit in my section. It was caught maybe like 3 rows ahead of me, and I look horrified.
You're on the Jumbotron.
I'm on the... No, I think I was on like actual live television.
Going, ooh.
Going like, I have a friend. It was one of my daughter's friends was next to me. She goes, open your mouth like that again. And I did. And she goes, what's under there? And I was like, oh, you mean my double chin? Aren't faces amazing? Aren't bodies cool? And she was like, yeah, okay.
Is that going to happen to me when I grow up?
Yeah.
Yes,
you know
yes,
what?
it will.
You know what, Finn? It will.
It will. Well, consult the internet if you want to see Jackie's like face gif. Where was it? Where did someone send it to you online?
Yeah.
That's how you knew about it?
Well, no, one of the friends that was at the game found it, but someone did text me during the game. I was like, this is going to be really weird, but are you at a Mariners game? And I was like, please tell me you're here and you didn't just see it on television.
No, actually.
She was like, no, but your excitement was palpable.
Oh, that's great.
Cool.
And a visual.
Yeah.
So, Jackie, you are a staff writer at the Seattle Times. You've been there for quite a long time, yeah?
What is your job title officially?
Just food writer.
Yeah.
Food writer.
Yep.
And that is different than a food critic, right?
Yeah. But I don't think that Bethany or Ton's actual titles are food critic either.
Yeah. A critic is sort of a term of the past, it seems.
A little bit, I think, unless maybe you're at the New York Times or the LA Times.
Kind of makes you sound like a professional jerk, right? I'm here to
aren't
criticize.
we all kind of professional jerks?
Yeah.
I mean, the three of us at this table.
The three of us, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself a professional jerk, Meg?
No, because I'm not a critic.
Burn.
I'm a food nice person who says nice things.
You're a food nice guy?
Yeah. I'm a food delight. And I never say anything mean about anyone except on this podcast. So you've covered neighborhoods specifically, which Ton and Bethany, your coworkers, do not.
No, not in the same way. When I was hired, it'll be 6 years in August. It was a part-time position, and it was to specifically write this Neighborhood Eats column that explored the different neighborhood restaurants in Seattle.
Do you feel like you're an expert on Seattle neighborhoods?
No. Does anybody? I mean, there's so many. And they're always
there are
changing.
so many.
And it's not just like the neighborhoods in Seattle. It's also all the suburbs.
Right.
True, yeah.
So it's just basically greater King County. I think we try to do like Everett to Auburn, maybe?
In Tacoma?
In Tacoma, yeah.
Yeah, that's a giant swath.
Yeah.
But how do you determine which neighborhood you'll write about on any given week?
We just look at the map and see like where have we not been?
Yeah.
Is there anything interesting? Yeah. And like keep a good record of where we have been and where we haven't been, and remember that like our memories are longer than reader memories.
Sure.
Is that all that you do is cover neighborhoods, or do you ever do
That's like one part
just
that I do.
one facet? Yeah.
Yeah, because I turned my part-time position into a full-time position about a year into it. And so now I write other kinds of stories too that are like weird, quirky, that all fall
Feature stuff
under
and-
the food umbrella. Sometimes I write about books.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that about you. Mm-hmm. You read books? No.
Have you ever read one?
No.
I know it's weird.
No, I never tried it.
Not
They
since
seem
that Ruth Rachel book.
expensive.
No,
That's
not
the only one.
Can you eat them? Yeah. That was the last book I read
She peaked at
in 1996. But enough about me. So
No, more.
So how did you get to the ST? You wrote for Seattle Met. You wrote for many other publications before, and they weren't always food, right?
No, yeah. I used to edit a bridal magazine, Seattle Met Bride and Groom, when I first moved here. I was the editor for Zagat when I moved here. And then before I moved here, I lived in Eugene. I wrote a lot of music.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. And I wrote for the Register Guard and the Oregonian, the Eugene Weekly, Eugene Magazine, like basically any publication in Eugene.
Do you have a musical background?
No.
No.
I play the clarinet.
I just tell
and the
people,
bass clarinet.
Really? That counts.
I think when I was in college, I watched Almost Famous too many times. And I was like, who doesn't want to be William Miller? Who doesn't want to write for Rolling Stone? Who doesn't want to do that?
Yeah.
But then I realized after like interviewing a lot of famous musicians that I really just like people stories
Okay.
and features. And I also like didn't want to be a pitchfork bro. You know,
Yeah,
like I just
seriously.
didn't know.
Understandable.
I don't have a musical background, so I kind of felt like a fraud.
You don't have to have a musical background. I've never worked in a restaurant and I write about food. If you have
No, but you
sharp
eat.
opinions, I have to eat a couple
But you
times a
eat.
day. That's true.
Yeah.
I have to.
This was an issue that came up with me like not too long ago at a bar. Just someone was talking to me about writing, and they were saying like, well, like if you were gonna make a large dinner party, what would you make? And I was like, oh, I have a small apartment. I don't really cook for large dinner parties. And then they said, well, how can you pass judgment on restaurants?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, okay, first of all, I don't pass judgment on restaurants. I recommend
Not
places.
a critic, lady.
Yeah, I recommend places that are great. But the thing is that you have, I mean, in my opinion, I think you have to know what you're talking about. You have to know generally how people execute things.
Yeah.
But you don't need to execute the thing.
Right.
What I need to execute is writing.
Yeah.
And then and I think, you know, that ethos sort of leads to nowhere too, because if you think about it, then it's like, well, I could have easily said back, well, have you ever had an article published? Then how can you criticize writing, right?
Exactly.
You're
Like,
like
it's
Gail
just-
King. Have you ever been to space?
yeah, and I don't have
Shut
that. I don't have that attitude about it, but like that's what that attitude is. It just leads to like, no one can say anything about anything unless you
Unless
do
you
it expertly.
manufactured it. Yeah.
I mean, that's true. I think when it came to music, I felt like my vocabulary was lacking. You know, it's one thing to be a critic or to know a lot about something, and then you feel like you have confidence in your opinion because it's an informed opinion.
Yes.
But when it came to music, my opinion was just like, I like it. And I couldn't really figure out why I liked it or go into a little bit more about what worked and what didn't in a way that I felt good about.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you're originally from the Midwest. You've lived all over, yeah?
A little bit. Yeah. But I am from the Midwest,
yeah.
North Dakota.
North Dakota. I think you're my only friend from North Dakota.
I'm many people's only friend from North Dakota.
That's your niche that you've carved out.
Right?
What is the demonym for Fargo? I was wondering the other day.
Oh, like Fargoan?
When did you move to Seattle?
It'll be 10 years this summer. Yeah.
I'm curious about like some of your favorite finds in your time like writing about neighborhoods, like not the hidden gems per se, but
I know that's such like a hard term.
I know,
It's so hard to
right?
think of another term that is like hidden
Yes.
gems that isn't hidden
That
gems.
isn't hidden gems.
I hate that term, but just some places you found and thought, oh wow, I don't think I would have known about this were it not for the fact that I'm trying to traverse
to find that. Yeah. Unfortunately, the thing with me is that I forget.
Yeah.
Everything, especially after doing this for 6 years.
Sure.
And just thinking about restaurants all the time. It's usually only like the last thing that I wrote about that I remember. But I will say that sometimes I make Meg come with me for lunch.
Sometimes,
Especially
yeah.
if I'm going to be on the South End and she can get there easily through
Yeah.
public transportation.
Yeah.
So we were together a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we were in Kent. And we had lunch somewhere. And sometimes I tell Meg to like come really hungry because we're going to have to go to more than one place.
Hey man, I'm in the life.
Yes,
Yeah.
you also
I know
know.
how it goes.
And I always send her home with way too many leftovers. And Meg always has 5 other stops after me.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I feel bad.
No, don't feel bad. Steven destroyed those leftovers.
Right?
Yeah.
So we went to one place and it was like fine, but not. There just wasn't enough about it that was good. And so then we went to a place that was in the same parking lot. And that place was so good. Taste of Yemen.
Yeah.
And Meg kind of makes like an unnamed appearance in my article that
nice.
I
week.
saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while she'll be like, the friend I was with said something.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
me. I said something.
I I am that friend.
I'll do that.
Right?
I'll
Or
say
like,
something.
Yeah. Or some of my friends will be like, my body part was in the Seattle Times. It'll be like their hand or their,
Nice.
something like that.
Famous
or they are
elbow.
the friend.
Yeah. We recently hobnobbed through South Tacoma for a story that
we
you
did
wrote as
South
well.
Tacoma too. That was really fun.
We did Howdy Bagel and Opal Lounge and Luis Panis, the Colombian spot.
Yeah. And then we hung out at Bluebeard Coffee for a few hours and co-worked. And I haven't co-worked with anybody.
It was fun.
Yeah, it's like reminds me of my old freelancing days.
And we didn't talk too much, which is usually what I do when I co-work with someone. We actually got shit done.
Yeah, we actually did. We did a little bit. Because I just like you so much. And so I know that you won't be offended if I say shut up.
I like you too. Yeah, no, we'll survive. Our relationship will
be
make
like,
it.
We'll be like, shut up now. We're going to write for 20 minutes.
I feel like we should have a food writers, like a hangout club where we, I don't know, like go in on meals together so we can try more shit. And then we all have our clients.
Yeah. I feel
so
like
that it isn't $150 to just go with your one person.
Yeah. I feel like there used to be so many more networking opportunities, but like maybe because there used to be more media events, but I don't see people in the same way that I feel like I used to see people.
Sure. Like that's
around.
something that still hasn't recovered from the COVID lockdown times.
Which I get it. Like there's not a lot of money. And also usually at the times now, it's really difficult what we can say yes to versus what we can't say yes to.
I thought that was really interesting. You mentioned that you can't always go to a media event.
Yeah, especially if it's like a hosted dinner and the only purpose is for everybody to eat dinner. That's usually a no.
Okay.
But if it's like an opening and it's kind of more like an open house style situation and we might have an opportunity to talk to the chef or a manager or something there and it's a little bit more casual, that can be a yes.
Interesting. Is that a we can't accept free food situation? Yeah, the infatuation is like that too.
Yeah.
And I accept free food all the time. I'm happy to because I work for myself and not for, it's not a salary job. But I often think as a freelancer, if you don't accept free food, like...
How are you going to make it?
No. It implies that you are
like to interrupt Meg.
So weak-willed that you'll say anything good for a free sandwich. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
because and I think that's the thing is even though we know that there is a line that we're not crossing, maybe it's just too...
I understand why it's fraud if you have a salary job and you don't want to get accused of things because you've got a brand.
Exactly. But when you don't, I mean, when I used to write restaurant reviews for this French guidebook called Gaillot, I could only accept hosted meals.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Because they had like no budget and they were like, you have to,
and they wouldn't
you're going to tell them
you.
exactly what you're going to be there for. This meal is for inclusion in this guidebook, so they need to pay you for the meal. So in a weird way, they need to pay for the meal. So in a weird way, I guess it was kind of like a pay for play.
It was a pay to play,
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
That's sort of the whole opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's not what you're talking about at all.
No.
Right?
No, I'm talking about a media dinner like you and I went to the other day, and they say, come over. We'll buy you dinner.
Yeah.
And wine. And sometimes they'll be like, tip isn't covered, so you got to cover the tip, and you can decide if you want to go or not.
Yeah, which also I feel like more information, the better. Like when I used to go to stuff like that and there would be kind of like a hazy, like, okay, so am I tipping? Am I not tipping? Is alcohol uncovered? Is it not?
Totally.
Like, you just want to know. And I think influencers have muddied the waters a little bit.
Absolutely,
Yeah. Michael Wong talked about this a little bit when we had him on Information Verified.
Right.
Like,
he's so fun.
I love him so much. But we chatted about this a little bit, like what you are obligated to do if you do go to one of those hosted meals, or what you feel like you're obligated to do versus what they expect from you. And sometimes it's different. Sometimes they just want like some Instagram stories and that's it. Sometimes they expect a feature story on them, and they'll bug you. They'll ping you about it.
Yeah.
As I get older and do this more, I just feel less and less obligated to say good things about free food. Like I don't care if it's not good. I'm not going to say it's good.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just not going to.
Yeah,
I think that cheapens my brand, if anything. So.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not. It's just silly. It's
and it doesn't help anyone.
No,
right. It helps
except
no one.
the business owner, but not the city of people who eat the food. Yeah.
And we're not going to say anything bad about the place. You know, it's more of, I think our approach, both of our approaches, right, is if we go to a place that's hosted and it wasn't good, we usually reach out to the people and say, hey, this is not something I can write about.
Yeah, and I'll tell them.
And this is why.
And
I'll let them know. I think that's an important part of our job, and that's as useful and helpful as a glowing feature. Yeah. As uncritics.
Uncritics.
We won't criticize you.
Yeah.
Well, just private criticism.
Feedback.
Yeah.
How about the news?
Let's hit some news, Meg. But first,
All right, I got a bunch of stuff this time. These are from H Mart. They are no brand. It says no brand, made for consumer, which I think means like they're not wholesale, like bulk brand.
Are these supposed to be like the store branded items? Like someone's going to be like,
I think they're just trying to be cool. I think it's just like, we have a funny name. Oh wait, we're not bulk.
Oh, it's like okay.
It is
soda.
a name. Yeah, exactly. These are from H Mart. They are Korean purple sweet potato chips. They look an awful lot like Pringles. They did not use the word ube anywhere on here because they're Korean. Mm-hmm. And they are bright fucking purple. I don't think they have a flavoring on them.
So it's just like a plain chip?
It's just like a plain chip.
Is the camera seeing that? It's pretty far away. But
yeah, they were $1.99 and they're neon purple. And that's what's going on here.
Pringley kind of look.
Yeah, right. The can is all in Korean except the words no brand, made for consumer.
No brand. What have we got from the ingredient list here?
Oh, yeah, we have to everything. Well, that's in Korean.
Is it ethically sourced? I saw that movie, so now I'm...
It contains soybean. Oh, there is an English label on it.
Soybean. So soybean
Purple,
oil, I'd imagine.
Sweet potato, palm oil.
Inevitably.
Tapioca starch. Dehydrated potato flakes, sweet seasoning.
Sweet seasoning.
Mark's been radicalized.
This is delicious.
Documentary. Palm oil. Oh, obviously.
Upends the table.
I kind of want to use sweet seasoning
Sweet seasoning. Get out of here.
Yeah. Right?
Sweet seasoning.
Sweet seasoning. This is a weird potato chip.
It includes sugar, beet red.
Ooh, beet red.
Okay.
Beet red.
All right. Well, let's dig
Salt,
in.
monosodium glutamate. Silicon dioxide, palm oil. The palm oil is in the sweet seasoning, as well as sugar and salt.
That's like a bridge to nowhere. I don't know.
I'm on a road to nowhere. I like that they are colorful. They need like a cheese ball, you know?
Why is there a warning that says cancer and reproductive? I think it's that California Prop 65 warning. Probably because of the packaging. But it really tripped me up for a moment. I just thought, well.
They're beautiful. I will say that.
They are.
Yeah, I like how they look.
But they need cheese.
They need something.
Yeah, or like I want like a French onion dip.
Yeah, onion dip. Mm-hmm. They need that onion dip. I don't know, but like they are sweet, which is weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a weird sweetness that kind of fades away.
I kind of like them.
Oh, it says, our philosophy is to help our consumers understand that the real value lies in the quality of the product and not in the brand name.
Oh, brother.
So that's
I get it.
That's what no brand.
But that is the brand then. The brand is no brand.
Yeah.
It's a secret shopper, yeah.
The brand is there is no brand. Oh, dude.
Get it?
Come on, man. Think about it.
I kind of like them. They're growing on
Well,
me.
yeah, because there's like enough of something to be intriguing to where all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I've just eaten 10 of these.
All right, better.
It's the MSG. That's why.
Better than Pringles or worse than Pringles or equal?
Worse.
Worse, yeah.
Pringles have a Mitch Hedberg joke. They also rain on the river.
Wait, what's the Mitch Hedberg joke?
Oh, it's like that it was a tennis ball factory, but on the day that the tennis balls were supposed to arrive, a truckload of potatoes showed up, and they were like, fuck it, cut them up. You never heard that?
No. Like, we're like joyfully laughing.
That's my new favorite Mitch Hedberg joke.
That's so great.
I kind of like them. It's like
Mitch
if Pringles were candy.
Yeah.
I like them.
I love that there's Mitch Hedberg jokes I still haven't heard. That's a joyful thing.
Yeah. Also, I have this beautiful pet knot from Foundry Wines in Walla Walla that it was gifted to me, and I think we should crack that open too.
Okay. Is it cold-ish?
Ish. Should I chill it? Should we go get it in 10 minutes? No. What are you, fancy? Seattle Times over here telling me to chill my pet knot. Forget it.
I only drink wine that is at the proper temperature.
Where's the... I thought this was a wine opener.
It is a wine opener.
Here.
Oh, okay.
Mom, I can't open the wine. Oh, it's that thing.
Aunt Jackie will get it.
Oh my God, Aunt Jackie was the best character on Roseanne.
So much, yes.
Aunt Jackie knows how to open wine.
Laurie Metcalf is kind of a genius.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I co-sign that.
Oh, glasses right there. It's beautiful and golden. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's nice. I like it. It's tart.
Ooh,
it's natural.
Into that.
It's scrumpy.
Pet natural.
So as natural as a pet. What does pet mean? Pétillant?
It's petulant. Like, I don't know. I'm not French.
Pétillant.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, anyway, I like it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's very light.
Floral honey notes to it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Citrus.
Ooh. Yeah.
I dig it. Thanks, Foundry.
Yeah. Very nice.
Foundry as well. Foundry Wines has an art gallery in Walla Walla, and you come to the art gallery and you tour, like there's artists doing shows, but it's also
cool.
A winery, and they sell wine. Awesome. It tastes good.
Thing like that.
All right, news. What happened this week, Mark?
I had lots of things happen this week. I think probably the biggest news that dropped about exactly a week ago was the news of Shanghai Garden closing.
Yeah.
And so that's a drag. They've been going for 31 years. And their last day is May 31st over in the International District.
31 years, that long. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think Bethany wrote about it in the Times, and the owner cited sort of the things that you would expect these days: the business not returning from the COVID lockdown, the price of things increasing. It's tough, and you hate to see the International District lose a place like that, because that to me is so integral to that neighborhood.
It's a crucial corner too.
Yeah.
So if something else goes in there, I hope it needs to be real good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like that's your landing spot. You come off of light rail into the ID, and it's right there.
Yeah, that sucks.
You can still get a beer at Joe's, but
that's the other landing spot is Joe's. God. So Bethany did report that Thai Siam closed the other day, and I read that they are trying to buy their building because the owner was selling the building, and they're like, "Oh, I guess we better get out," and they lowered the price by a lot.
Yeah,
really?
Like it was like 2 point something, and now it's 1.5 million.
Wow.
So they cut the price a lot. So the family that owned Thai Siam for years, for 40 years, 30.
Almost, I think 38. Or 39.
Yeah. They are banding together with, extended family to try to purchase the spot, which is amazing.
Oh, that's very cool.
Exciting. So my aunt lives in the neighborhood, and she was devastated. That's her favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
And I told her that, and she hooted and hollered. She's very, very excited. So I was excited to hear that too.
Yeah, they're looking for a loan right now, and I hope they get that, because that would be really fantastic. It's, I don't know, we don't really get many victories like that.
No, it would be so
these
special.
days.
Yeah, to see it rescued. So that was news upon news. News update.
Oh, yeah, we have this item that the Alliance for Pioneer Square, which is a nonprofit dedicated to preserving and promoting the neighborhood, has announced the recipients of an award they call P.S. I Love You, and it's a grant program. And so it creates financial support for small businesses in Pioneer Square, and there are quite a few recipients.
Yeah, I think the pastry project. Oops,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's one of them. Yeah, it's on the list.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of non-restaurants as well. But Collins Pub is on here. Baba Yaga, which I love. Hole in the Wall is on there. Home Team, which is Marco Solario's shoe store.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I said shoe, and he corrected me last week as sneakers, not shoes.
That's right.
Oh.
It's not like Nordstrom
It's
back
not
in
like
the day.
a dress
it's
shoe.
like a
They're
sneaker.
sneaker store.
Yeah. Sneakerhead.
Zeitgeist Coffee, Underbelly is on here. Lots of familiar spots
great.
that we love.
The Seattle Jazz Fellowship.
I don't know what that is.
It's on, what street is it? I think it's Yesler. I might be off by a block. But it's a fairly newish venue that opened up last year to kind of support the jazz community. And so they have jazz shows, I think, every Thursday.
Cool. I've never heard
Anyway,
of that.
it's a cool thing. I would
That's awesome.
strongly recommend following Seattle Jazz Fellowship.
Yeah, I think I will. Jay Reinhardt Gallery, you and I met Judith Reinhardt on the first Thursday when we were hanging out with Amanda Montauk the other day. She was fabulous. So they were a recipient as well. That's awesome. I don't know how much they get, but that's cool that they're doing that.
Yeah, every little bit helps, especially when it's a grant.
That's great news.
Yeah, totally.
Smash That Burger now has a brick and mortar in that they're inside Fremont Brewing, which is cool. So people can go get all their big sloppy burgers there.
Are they posted up in like an actual kitchen there, or did they just move the truck?
It says this cult favorite Smash Burger pop-up debuted in its new permanent home inside Fremont Brewing. So it's inside the building.
Cool. Wow, that's nice.
I believe.
The big Fremont Brewing?
That's what I imagined. It actually does not say. This is cribbed from The Stranger. So they didn't say. They just have, like 100-word capsule here.
Yeah.
And then they just talk about all the different burgers they have.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Smash That Burger started up at Rooftop Brewing, and then they had to move because of the fire
'cause of the
that
fire. Okay.
Rooftop suffered. And then, so for a while, they were at the Growler Guys over by...
On Lake City.
Yeah. And so this is where they're moving from there. I would imagine
That's a good question. I don't know if they just drove the truck into the brewery. I guess we should go find out.
Right, because I just don't feel like there was an infrastructure inside that brewery.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Maybe the word inside, maybe it's the wrong preposition here. Have you had it? Have either of you had Smash That Burger?
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah. It's
Is it a true smash burger?
It is. Yeah.
It is.
They
Yeah.
actually
It's not a
do
lie.
it the
No.
correct. Yeah.
It's not a lie.
There's a lot of fake smash burgers out there.
That's true.
Yeah, I would like it if they used a little more salt on the patty, actually. But aside from that, it's cool. It's a good place.
It's a good burger.
Mm-hmm.
Any other news?
Oh yeah, Coco Legato opened up that's in Greenwood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't know where that is.
So it's right next door to Hummus Cafe.
Oh.
Yep, on the corner.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do know where that is.
Yeah, so we've kind of been tracking this.
Yeah, we're like, what's that?
And then I think sort of dropped the ball on it. So now we're hearing it from the stranger. But
Great.
But yeah, this is something the stranger reported, and so they're open from 10 to 6, and have a ribbon cutting ceremony.
As a music person, do we know what legato means? It's a musical term.
It's not. It's the opposite of staccato.
That's true.
It's played with smoothness.
Wow. It's smooth chocolate.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm qualified to write about music.
Now you are. Now we all are because we know what legato means.
Finally.
That's great. I'll check
do a
that
career
out.
change.
What else do we have? Where Lobster Rolls International is opening on May 3rd in the Chinatown International District.
Yeah.
I walked by this storefront last week and saw their sign. Their sign's very cute. It's this very neon little cartoon lobster coming out of a sandwich.
Yeah.
And we have been witnessing sort of like corporate lobster roll joints.
What is the deal with
up.
lobster rolls in Seattle when you have Dungeness crab? Like, why are we importing lobsters over? Like, there's 10 of them now.
Yeah.
Like, why? What is up with the? It's the weirdest food trend in this place specifically. Like, why would you import a live lobster from Maine or Boston or whatever to serve here when we have glorious, beautiful seafood? I get doing like for Bar Harbor where we're a Maine themed restaurant. Like, we're New England, we serve this cuisine, but it's specialized lobster roll only restaurants, and there's a ton of them.
So this is interesting because I went to their Instagram and I noticed that Phnom Penh Noodle House commented on their post and said, "Congratulations, Hyun." Which, yeah, that's the name of the owner of this restaurant. And it turns out they're doing sort of like a world lobster roll themed thing.
Okay.
So they have like a Maine style, a Connecticut style, and then they have like sort of like a Vietnamese style.
They have an Indian one,
Yeah, an Indian one. So this is an independently owned place.
Sure.
And I think they're doing something a little bit different with it. And it seems to be a little bit more of a community than I think the other places we've seen opening up in town.
I guess I'm just a resident hater today, but like you and I have had long conversations about the lobster district of downtown Seattle. Like there's Mason's, there's Luke's, I almost said Larry's.
Yeah.
There's the Marquette, which sort of kicked off the trend.
Yeah.
But serves other things. They don't just do lobster rolls. They do local seafood. And then they also had a lobster roll and everyone pissed their pants and was like, oh, lobster, you can get it here.
Yeah.
But then everyone went nuts with it. And now we have chains from out of state serving fucking lobsters.
Yeah.
And a lot of the Pike Place seafood spots are now importing lobsters when they have all the beautiful seafood ready at their disposal.
Yeah, that's the energy that is troubling for me is when it's a chain. When some of these places that have opened up previously have such a Jimmy John's kind of feel to it, and it's kind of a bummer.
And they're salty as hell too. Anyway, that's not to say that
I just want to go back to a Jimmy John's kind of feel. Because that is such a apt descriptor. You know exactly what a Jimmy John's looks like and feels like on the inside.
Yeah.
Smells.
You ever want to go?
Free smells.
You ever want to go into Jimmy John's and spend $34 instead?
Yeah. What if it costs more?
Right?
Yeah.
For some shit that doesn't grow here when you could just have local food. I don't know.
I don't really.
I guess we're being professional jerks right now, but
no, we're defending our town.
Yeah.
And our beautiful seafood that we have. Like you can put all kinds of local shellfish into a lobster roll.
Yeah, totally.
Doesn't have to be
into a roll. Yeah.
But
roll it up.
That said, I am curious about Lobster Roll International. I will give them a
because it's got different
shake.
styles. It's like the world wraps of lobster rolls. Yeah.
And it's locally owned. So I'm up for that.
Okay.
We'll see.
Let's go check it out.
Yeah.
Let's do a field trip.
Well, I think that might transition to our roundtable pretty well, which we kind of wanted to talk about what, Jackie, you do and what you don't do, and what the separations are between a staff writer at a newspaper versus freelance writers versus an influencer, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay.
I kind of like these purple chips.
I think you should.
All right,
Yeah.
They're not. They're
It's a nice chip. It's a nice. Hey, it's a nice chip.
It's a nice chip. That's how you guys sound.
Thank you.
Totally.
To me, to my
That's all I've
non-Italian
ever
ears.
wanted.
What is okay? So Jackie, what is something that you feel like people misunderstand about what you do, or something you'd like to set the record straight on?
Do you write your own headlines?
Not rarely. My editors wish I wrote my own headlines more, but I am terrible at it, and I low-key, I don't refuse to do it, but I don't My skills lie elsewhere.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I do not write my own headlines. In addition to that, headlines get changed depending on if they're like doing well or not doing well. So then there might be like different headline tests going on.
Oh, yeah.
It's very rare that I have any control over the headline.
Yeah. Do you get people in your inbox being like, this is a stupid headline? Because I
No.
get dragged for my headline sometimes. I'm like, yo, I didn't write it.
No, I get dragged for everything else.
What do you get dragged for?
Oh, my photos are terrible. My opinions are trash. I don't know. Maybe I used the wrong article or I said on Queen Anne instead of in Queen Anne, or either way. You know, I think that's what, I mean, sometimes I think people forget that I am an actual person, which sounds like I sound like a celebrity being like, I'm a real person. And I'm not a celebrity, but like, I think people feel very comfortable saying really mean things in my inbox.
Can you explain how photos work at the Seattle Times? Like, I think people think that if you write anything for the Seattle Times, you have a professional photographer come out.
No, I mean, I like to deploy the photo team or ask for the photo team on my larger stories. But if it's something like a Neighborhood Eats, which I oftentimes don't really know where I'm going with a ton of advance notice, I might not like where I go, so then I have to find a backup place. And it is just so much easier for me to take my own photos. And also, I work for a newspaper. I don't work for a magazine, so I'm going to take the photo with like that type of journalistic like aim. So it's how the dish really looks. Yeah. Sometimes I do forget to like wipe a plate. I definitely will try to wipe a plate, but I'm not like overly styling anything.
You didn't bring a wand light or anything?
I don't have a light. I have an iPhone. It's a nice iPhone, but it's not it's not a DSLR.
You're not an influencer with all the gear.
No, and I just am not. I'm also trying to like take the photo and eat it before
it gets
before
cold or whatever.
Whatever. And I don't want to. And also, if I have friends with my husband, is always just like kind of rolling his eyes at me, and I'm like, "Hey, bro, pay the tax. Okay, you're here for lunch."
Exactly.
This is the price.
That is irritating. Stephen will always try to take a bite right away, and I'm like, I gotta take the photo. He isn't rude about it. He understands.
Yes,
He's never like, fucking bitch, I'm trying to eat.
No, Dan.
Never ever. But I do. I feel like an idiot.
I think Dan feels like he's like, God, can you just put your phone away? Because I'll be like, up and down and just trying to get.
It feels a little bit sexist when they see like, because I'm a woman with a phone, and they're like,
Well, yeah, and
bitches
I think
be Instagramming, right?
Phone eats first. Yeah. Yeah. And so I think that's just hard. I had somebody email me not too long ago being like, have you ever tried like a piece of parsley on that plate? Really would have like jazzed things up.
A piece of parsley.
And I'm like, they don't serve it with parsley. Like I don't work at there. And also I can't ask for that. I can't be like, this food is hideous.
That would be a lie.
Yeah. So
you asked for a prettier
photo. And so at that Taste of Yemen, we took photos of that lamb fasa.
Yeah.
And you took a video, and it was way more effective on video because it was like violently bubbling when it came.
Yeah.
It was like a meat
in a cast iron bowl or something like that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But the photos, I was like, oh, bud. It's just brown. This is just a lot of brown.
It's
it was
a circle with brown in it.
Yeah. And so I I had to say, hey, sometimes food is really good and it doesn't always look. The photos don't do these dishes justice.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you ever considered like getting a wand light to make your photos prettier, or do you not care?
That's not my
You're
job.
like, no, because that's not true.
Well, yeah, and also like if it's a bigger story, or if it's something that like maybe Bethany and Ton will review or something, I'm not opposed to asking a photographer to come there. I just like to flex that muscle sparingly.
Yeah. Well, food photography is one of the most challenging types of photography.
100%. It's
very
so hard.
difficult.
I mean, people think that because it doesn't move, it's easy, but it's like lighting.
And like the light in the restaurant often, especially if you write about bars like Mark and I do, the bars are always dark.
The bars are always dark.
Yep.
Yeah, and you only have so many tools in your toolbox.
Yeah.
I'm only good at so many things.
You're good at lots of things, but not every single thing.
Yeah, and I mean, I do the best with what I can. I think that I can take a fairly good photo, but I'm not a photographer.
Yeah.
So maybe that. What else? I don't know.
Like you'll often speak of just emails and feedback that you get from people that to me seems very appropriate, like asking you to do things or care about things that are not part of your purview as a staff writer at the Seattle Times. And I'm like, someone really emailed you about that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that kind of comes with the territory of being, I think I understand it more now that I'm on staff. Mm-hmm. When I was a freelancer, which I was for a really long time, and people would email me, find my email, I would think, well, I actually don't work there. I can't change anything because you don't like it. I can change something if it's inaccurate, but you know, I know we were really friendly, but that was an interview. You were on the record.
Yeah.
Or they want me to add something, or they wanted me to know when I was running. And a lot of time as a freelancer, you just like submit something and it goes in this black hole.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you don't know when it's going to run necessarily.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you have no control because you're just a body filling column inches.
That happened to me fairly recently. People wanted me to like make edits and take a word out or change a word or something. I'm like, yo, I'm a freelancer. Like I don't have access to the back end.
Exactly.
Or they want to know when it's running. And I'm like, maybe next week. Like that's not, I don't have the power that you think that I have.
Yeah.
Do you, like if someone were to say, hey, can you make this edit? Do you have the power to do that?
Yeah. If there's a correction that needs to be made, I can 100% correct it depending on when it is. I might not be able to catch it in time for print.
Yeah.
But I can make, if there is a factual error, I can make a correction and update to something.
Do you want to know that? Like, I want to know if I messed up for sure.
Yeah. Like if I spelled your name wrong, please tell me.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, if I got the hours that your restaurant is open wrong, please tell me. Yeah. If you went to high school at XYZ instead of ZYX and for some reason my wires got crossed, let me know.
Yeah.
It's not about that. I think there are a lot of positives to being on staff. I think the support has been really great. I think when I was a freelancer, sometimes I would turn an article in and I wouldn't get edits very often. And it got to be a point where I was like, wow, I'm just so amazing.
So good.
No one even really says anything. Yeah. But it was like, oh no, they just don't have time. You're doing enough of a job. You know, you're hitting your deadlines. You're turning in relatively clean copy. You're doing as good of it job as you can for a freelancer. Yeah. We don't have the resources to spend on you. Yeah. So now having an editor who I bother on a multiple time daily basis with my, musings has been really beneficial for me. I feel like I've grown as a writer and gotten a lot better.
When is it appropriate to email a staff writer? Like if you have a new opening, yes.
Oh yeah. I mean, people email me all the time.
Yeah.
It's always
Okay.
If you have an opening or have news.
Yeah.
But also an email isn't a guarantee of anything.
Sure.
Like obviously let us know whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's just what we do with that depends.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about
ways in which you and I and you have been pestered by people and it's just like inappropriate.
Well, yeah, because sometimes it's like, well, I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't work for you kind of situation. Like you needed to talk about this and this.
Yeah.
In your story instead of what you talked about.
Oh, you mean like after a story goes up?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
I get those a lot.
Yeah.
I get people telling me that I shouldn't have written this and this, and they feel like they're owed in some specific way.
A source? Or
it's often a chef owner.
Oh.
Or a staff member.
You get people who felt like their narrative wasn't expressed.
They want to tell me what I should be writing.
Yeah, like our brand didn't come across enough for our liking. Could you add this and this?
Yeah, I get that. Sorry to try to hand feed you a question. Does that happen to you?
I
get
rare
lunatics, man.
Right? But
I get emails, man.
Yeah.
Well, now I don't even want to say it because if I say no, then all of a sudden I will.
Yeah, you will. They'll be like, great,
I do.
She needs some.
A lot of the times I don't hear anything.
Okay.
Or if I do hear anything, it is usually like, great article, but.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious.
I feel like we get a lot of press release type things that are kind of supplemental information and people really want an article around it. Like I can't really pitch an article that a place has extended its hours by
exactly.
Like they're open at 10 instead of 9. Like I can't.
Very frequently I get a PR release that's like, we now serve lunch. Please write a feature article about how we serve lunch.
Well, yeah, and you don't really have anywhere else for that to go, right? Like there are some things that are event based or changes like that can get sent to another person on staff. That can go in a weekend roundup. That can go in a calendar listing.
Yeah. It can go in the news section of this podcast. That's kind of like the impetus for having that. Like I know the reason people want that out there and it's worthwhile and it makes sense to disseminate, but I can't build a feature article out of that,
Do you, Mark, get the emails I get where people say, well, you wrote a list of the best restaurants in Tacoma, and we think we should have been on it, or something like
I
that.
get those.
Yeah,
I get those.
Yeah, those are inevitable. And
Why did you not include our Thai restaurant in this roundup of noodles or something like that?
Well, that's sort of a thing that when we're building these list things, especially the maps, like here are the best in the Seattle. When it's not focused on a specific neighborhood and it's focused on Seattle broadly, they really want as wide a representation of the entire town as you can get. And so they really get antsy about like, oh, you already have 3 places in this one neighborhood. So can you not add that one and add something else instead?
Yeah.
And so, for a lot of time, people will say, oh, you didn't include us. I'm like, I agree. I think you guys are great. But you're also in a neighborhood with this unfuckwithable spot, this spot, this spot. And like those places are legends.
Yeah.
I can't fit it in if they're not willing to do 4 in that neighborhood.
But I'm me.
But I'm me.
So,
and that's why I say, well, that's the best thing about Neighborhood Eats is I'll be back to your neighborhood.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and we do rotate places in too. And it's not like just because a place was left off on
exactly.
one
Like a
version
list
of it,
is not final ever.
It's going to come back around and...
Yeah, I'm working on essential cocktail bars right now, and it's hard because I have to remember what we've taken off to rotate new bars in.
Yeah, exactly.
And not stick them back in, but also think of new bars. Now, that's not hard because Seattle has a billion wonderful, incredible bars.
But that does make it hard because you will inevitably leave places off that deserve it, right?
Yeah.
Well, also, like, a place will be like, well, we've been in business for 10 years. And I'm like, well, what about this legendary 100-year-old place? Like, there's just so many of them is the problem.
Yeah. That's a tough one. Essential bars is so challenging.
That's why I'm so late, Harry, if you're listening. It's agonizing.
Yeah. Does Harry listen to the podcast, you think?
I don't know. He seemed impressed by our guest list. Does he listen?
We have an impressive guest list.
Harry, you want to be a guest on the show?
That'd be fun.
Harry, come on down.
Now you'll find out if he does listen.
He'll be like, no.
Yeah.
One word email. Absolutely not.
Right.
Shall we talk about things that we ate this week?
I think it is time.
Yeah.
Jackie, did you go anywhere with Meg this week?
No.
Did we what I'm like, what day is that?
No.
I know, right?
Well, last week I was kind of in that weird Ballard neighborhood that's like Ballard, Stumbletown, West Whittier.
Oh, yeah.
That whole situation.
West Woodland.
So I went to Take 5 Urban Market.
Oh, they're back.
Yeah, they
They reopened.
I
That's
love
news.
that.
That's news.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Good.
And then I went to Blazin' Bites,
What's that?
and it's like a Euro shawarma place right next to Ballard High. And I don't know when the last time you guys saw a bunch of high schoolers was, but
I used to live in Greenwood, and I would take the D down 15th, and 900 students would get on the bus all at once.
So it's like right across the street from Ballard High School, and we went like right around lunchtime. It must have been, what was it, like 5th period maybe or something when we were kids.
Okay.
And the amount of high school boys that came in to get a shawarma, they're adorable. They look like they're 12, and they all have this.
They have big bangs.
They all have big. They call it broccoli hair.
Yeah, they either have the curly broccoli hair or they have a big swooping, like a big Dennis the Menace swoop.
Right? And I'm just like, how are you sweet young things just like alive in the world, not at school, just eating shawarma?
Yeah.
I mean,
They're growing boys.
well, it's just so.
They need shawarma.
Well, they just look like every teenage boy is a dork. But when we were teenagers, I just thought they were so, they were tall and like the hottest boy in school. And now I'm like, ugh.
Oh, a child.
I can see your underwear. Pull up your pants.
A little baby eating shawarma.
A little baby eating shawarma. I'm like, whose mom gave you money for that?
I almost said from your paper route, but do they have paper routes?
They've got, I get the paper on Sunday.
Okay. A little
I
teenage
don't know
boy
who
brings it
delivers
to you.
I hope so.
That's sexist of me, but probably.
That's just like, what do I only hire girl babysitters for my girls?
A little shawarma
right?
eater
Like,
brought
get some
it to you.
teenage boys that want to be babysitters. Hit me up.
Was it good?
It was
Blazin'
so
Bites?
good. Yeah. That was really good. And then we went to Stumbletown Sandwiches,
Okay.
Italian-inspired sandwiches.
Italian-inspired.
Yep,
Oh, wow.
they were pretty good. And,
You guys are
Shake
very
Bite Ceviche.
inspiring.
Yeah. I love
Obviously.
the
You inspire me both.
Tell us more.
Is that the place that is now inside of Jolie?
Yeah, it was
Cool.
Jolie, and now it's that.
Okay.
What kind of sandwich did you get?
I got a vegetarian that had smoked mozzarella and sweet peppers and balsamic and something else spicy on it, I think arugula. And then I got a spicy copa and sheep.
Ooh.
That was really good. And then I feel like we got like a salami. I don't know. They have like
what kind of bread?
Dozen. They all do a ciabatta bun from Seawolf.
Nice.
Okay.
I like a ciabatta.
Yeah, and it's soft and the bun is warm.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I want it.
Where else did I go? Shark Bite Ceviche.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
Yeah.
I saw that. That's on my to-do list.
I feel like the portions are too big.
Oh, really?
It
Really?
is the most
Bold
massive
statement.
amount of ceviche. It felt indulgent.
Fit for a shark.
It's a shark bite.
Seriously,
Yeah.
It's not a person bite.
I was like, this is like I'm rich in ceviche right now. I mean, it was a massive amount of salmon ceviche for $16.
Wow.
Yeah.
That recommends it. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm into that.
I feel like you should bring that to a party. I mean, when you see ceviche on a menu, it's usually an appetizer and it's like a soup cup's worth.
Yeah.
Right.
And you get 6 chips.
And you get 6 chips. And this was so big.
Not a 6-chip ceviche.
Not a 6-chip ceviche. And we also got a portobello mushroom ceviche.
Whoa.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Good.
It was good. It had a lot of dill in it. It was like a mushroom salsa. I don't you know what I mean? Like it was
I wouldn't
fun.
have thought of that. I'm growing dill in my garden now. I planted it last weekend and it's coming up and I'm like, oh no, I planted too much dill. But maybe
maybe little
portobello
mushroom.
ceviche.
Yeah. You know, you don't really think of a mushroom ceviche.
I certainly hadn't.
No.
Mark, what'd you eat this week?
I ate so many places. I started the week by going to Lupo in Fremont, which I haven't been to Lupo since Cam Hanen left.
Yeah.
And so it was just nice to kind of re-experience it and see that they really haven't missed a beat.
No, it's still really good.
It's still great. And they had a special there that was a pepperoni and sliced kumquat. And I would not have thought of that combination, and it worked so crazily well. Like that was such an incredible combination of flavors.
I feel like kumquats are having a moment because they were on my birthday cake, that chocolate cake with the walnut buttercream from Paper Cake.
They were.
Gabby put sliced kumquats on the top, and they were great.
Oh, yeah, because I think they're like, if you like Sour Patch Kids, you'll like kumquat.
That's true. Nature's candy.
Yeah.
The kumquat.
Okay, so I don't think I had eaten a kumquat until I was probably 30 because I just never saw them growing up in the Midwest,
not around,
right?
yeah.
But then I thought about how also because a side effect growing up in the Midwest, my husband and I were talking about this the other day. I didn't ever have Thai food until after I graduated from college and moved to Minneapolis because there were no Thai restaurants where I grew up in high school or where I went to college.
Yeah.
But like our girls now living in the city, they have so much access to food.
Right.
And like, you know, we go out for Indian all the time. We'll go out for Japanese. You can do anything you want. But was that like for you, you know, as a Bothelite?
Bothelite, yeah.
And as a Seattleite, do you even remember the first time you ate like Indian or Thai or
I
sushi?
do because my family didn't like it. My family wanted to order the same shit over and over. So for birthdays, we would go to like Olympia Pizza because we were on Queen Anne Hilltop over and over and over. And I mentioned this, I think, in the last show. Like, I didn't like it. It was like shellacked cheese on green peppers, which I didn't like. And there was shrimp in it. Like, I didn't think that was a luxurious meal. And I remember asking my parents to order Thai food for like my 14th birthday or something.
Okay.
And they were like, well, it's your birthday. You get to choose.
Yeah.
And they were like, it's okay. It's like chow mein. Like they had American Chinese food, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I do remember. I always was trying to order weird food, even as a teen. I guess I'm glad to remember that about myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I wanted Szechuan food once when I was a teen, and they were like, what's this? Yeah. Yes. So I do remember.
Yeah. I had Thai food for the first time in high school in Bothell. There were a couple Thai restaurants in town. There was a small Thai community in Bothell, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And there was a restaurant called Siam Wok, and there was another one called Thai Rama.
Nice.
And this girl I had a super crush on wanted to go to Thai food and I'd never had it before. And so I was like, all right. Like, she's so worldly. And
right? She doesn't want to go to Olive Garden. Sign me up.
Yeah. And so we went to Thai Rama for dinner, and that was the first time I had pad Thai because she ordered it. And
You ate many more things this week, right?
Oh, God,
Oh,
yes.
sorry.
Oh, no.
We're talking about kumquats.
We're talking about kumquats. I mean, these are all meant to be, conversation starters, right?
Yeah.
But I do want to say at Lupo, they have this ice cream right now that is a malted sourdough ice cream.
Ooh.
It was almost prophetic because, Meg,
Sounds
you
good.
were talking last episode about the idea of like a focaccia ice cream.
Oh, yeah, I was.
And,
That's right.
and then here it is. I mean, it's not focaccia per se, but it is sourdough bread infused with maltedness. And
I had a rye bread ice cream in Iceland many years ago, and it was good.
Oh, was it good?
I loved it, yeah.
I am obsessed with this ice cream at Lupo. I want it again ASAP.
Nice.
I was in Stevie's in Beacon Hill, and they had a roasted garlic, chili oil, green olive pizza.
Oh my
man.
God, this is
Sounds
great.
great.
It was so good. It like burned your lips.
Mhm.
It was so
Yeah.
good.
Nice.
It was incredible.
The other thing I had that I want to have ASAP was I went to Lady J in West Seattle
nice.
on
Oh, yeah.
Wednesday, and I had the prime short rib bulgogi melt.
Wow.
And I
Yeah, that thing's
posted
good.
about Lady J a couple weeks ago, a month ago, and I had something else, and everyone messaged me and was like, "Have you had this prime short rib bulgogi?" And I was like, "No, I haven't." But it almost distracted me from the special that I did order. I was almost like, "Should I
Yeah.
get that instead?" And so I went and got it, and it was mind-blowingly great. So it has American cheese. So right off the bat, short rib and American cheese gives kind of a cheesesteak kind of flavor happening. Obviously, cheesesteak is ribeye, not short rib, but
Obviously.
it also had pickled radishes, pickled carrots, and spicy mayo. And so that kind of came together in this more complex way that I damn near ordered a second one.
Yeah.
And thinking, because I could just have like one more bite or two and then take the rest home. And I thought if I do that, I will house a second one. I know I will, so I can't do that. But
Okay, was the spicy mayo like horseradish spicy or chili?
no,
oil
it was.
Spicy?
I think it was sort of like gochujang spicy.
Whoa,
Nice.
yeah.
It was real subtle. Like they didn't super slather that, which I
Okay.
think is good because it was already pretty
rich.
Yeah, and it was on a brioche bun that actually stood up to all the ingredients. It
stuff?
wasn't a big slop fest.
Wow.
Slop Fest.
Yeah,
Slop
yeah.
Fest with Jackie Variano.
Well,
Slop fest.
Where my parents just moved, Pueblo, Colorado, they're the home of the Slopper,
oh.
which is the world's worst dish.
It
I've
sounds like it
ever
would
had.
be. Do you feel like a slopper today?
Yeah.
I want to go to
Never.
the home of the slopper.
Home
I
of
might
the
try a
slopper.
slopper
I
somewhere
did-
else. I'm not going to go to their den, their
Honestly,
lair.
Yeah, it's a little ominous sounding.
I'm going to steer clear of the
You
slopper
don't even know
layer.
what it is. What if it's great? What if it
Beware the
slopper slaps?
Yeah, stay away.
Beware the slopper, though.
Yeah,
I think.
I am.
What-
I'm aware.
What is it?
It is a bottom of a bun with a cheeseburger on top, topped with a scoop ladleful of green chili.
Okay.
Okay.
Then
Slopped.
slopped on,
not
Slopped on.
topped.
slopped on, and then just a fistful of raw white onion.
Oh,
on.
that's where you
slopped
lose me
on
a little
top,
bit.
and then maybe some more cheese.
Yeah.
But the top of the bun is nowhere to be found. It's kind of a
It's too sloppy.
half
it slid
cheeseburger
right
in a
off.
bowl in a moat. It's like an island in a moat.
Yeah.
Are you expected to eat it like an open-faced sandwich, like pick it up, or can you knife and fork it?
No,
like
it was served with a spoon.
a spoon.
So then
Burger
you're
with a
spooning
spoon.
through a burger.
Sloppy spoon burger.
This sounds like a bad dream to
I
me.
hate it.
You know what? I lived it.
Don't like it. MTV. I
mean,
lived it.
I was down with this until I heard like fistful of raw white onions. Like that
Yeah.
just seems
They
kind of
use
like,
their hands.
That makes it.
They
yeah.
throw it across the
They throw
room.
it
Yeah.
across the room.
There's-
You catch it in the bowl, and then everyone goes sloppers.
That's why I never go to the slopper den.
Yeah, tell them the slopper sent you.
It's the chanting.
Okay, what else did you have to eat?
Oh, I was going to say that bulgogi burger. Once I went to Lady J and got the fried bologna sandwich, which was like whatever. But I saw someone else eating the bulgogi burger, and I brought one home for Steven just so I could try it, and it was like sodden, like it doesn't travel well.
Oh,
So I'm
yeah,
glad
sure.
you didn't get one to go.
yeah, it
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Still delicious. We ate the innards out. We ate the sloppy part.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I wouldn't travel well, but oh man, it slapped.
Mm-hmm.
Last place I'll mention, I walked past Ludi's on a walk
Oh,
one
yeah.
time, and they were closed, but I noticed their specials menu said pancit, and I thought Ludi's has never done pancit. I'm so sad that I missed them doing that. I'm going to come back tomorrow, and hopefully they'll still have it. And I swung by the next day; they didn't have it, but so I was like, shit, all right. Well, maybe I'll go to Omart because Omart had just recently reopened.
Yeah.
But it was a sunny day, and so I went a block west, and just like the crush of people just made me think, I can't. No, this is not the
It's not
time.
worth it.
So I decided, where else can I get pancit? And I decided to go to Kilig in the International
Nice.
District. 'Cause I
Kilig is so
hadn't-
good.
Yeah.
Oh, it is so good. I haven't been there for a while.
Yeah, well, that was exactly the thing. And I think it's exactly why I want to mention it, because
Yeah.
I feel like that's that thing where people's memories are a little short, right?
Totally.
And that place is so good. I went for lunch. It was pretty quiet. I got in easily.
Yeah.
Like no wait, nothing. Yeah, so I got the pancit canton, which is just so abundant with super crisp vegetables. Like they have snap peas, leeks, carrots, these really great giant radish slices that are semicircles.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
like watermelon radish.
Yeah. And
Maybe it's the purple one. I don't remember.
Yeah. I think it switches up actually. This time it was the purple one, but I've had it with watermelon before.
Radish is a variety.
Yeah, and there was a lot of fried garlic. If you like fried garlic in there, it was abundant.
What meat did you get?
I went with shrimp.
Nice.
That seemed like the way to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got the Chinese sausage one, and it was really
Oh yeah,
really good.
yeah. I was wavering between those two. I was like, shrimp or Chinese sausage. I felt like a shrimp day.
We were both right to do what we did.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't forget about Kilig, anyone, because it's a great place.
That was on my best restaurants list last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a keeper.
Oh, you live in Belltown, don't you, Mark?
I do, yeah.
Do you ever go to Vindicktive?
Yeah, I love Vindicktive.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
got wings from there. I picked some up to go. And speaking of traveling well, those travel really
Yeah.
well.
They
actually.
do, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I love the way their sauce
Yeah.
ratio is so good. It's it's nice and thick and glazy. You know, it's not runny like a lot of places will be. Like they really nailed the exacting technique of an actual buffalo wing.
Yeah, and they're crispy without, sometimes wings feel breaded or something.
Yeah.
They're
And they
not
get
heavily
mushy.
breaded. They're so crisp. They're hard fried. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not rubbery. I said they don't feel like you're eating a nose, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not
And I'm
pulling
not
on
mad
it.
about the blue cheese either. I know
love
some
blue
people
cheese.
are really pissy about
Yep.
that, but
I
love
love that about them. I love that
Yeah.
they won't serve ranch, mainly because I never want ranch with a buffalo wing.
Yeah.
And just not having it available prevents me from ever getting it by mistake.
Yeah.
What is this?
I don't, and I, but also like I don't feel so passionate about it that I would send it back. It would just be like,
I'm like,
all
that's
right,
not available.
like,
Yeah.
this would be better if I had blue cheese, but this is like I can deal with this. It's
It's
fine.
high quality blue cheese
But
too.
that blue cheese is
It
so
is
good.
really good.
Yeah, it's like a
It's
paste,
chunky.
but
Yeah.
in a good way. Like paste sounds gross, but Meg, where did you go this past week?
I'm going to make it fast. I've realized I shouldn't ask you guys what you ate because then I'm at the end and I have to go fast because we're over time.
Oh,
right.
sorry.
I ate an asparagus burrata focaccia sandwich here at Cafe Hitchcock right across the hall,
So good.
which was killer with really fresh asparagus. I think it's limited because it's for asparagus season, right? But
Yeah. Let's shout out Pete for a moment because
let's
Pete,
shout out Pete, our barista
yeah.
friend at Cafe Hitchcock.
he's just always so pleasant and in a great mood. And sometimes our trip over here is like a little fraught. We got to carry all this equipment over.
Yeah.
And entering into Cafe Hitchcock and just seeing Pete's and his attitude
sunny
and his
face.
like,
Yeah.
it is just such a salve. In
He's a
lot of
lovely,
ways.
he's
Yeah.
a lovely man to be received by.
Yeah, fantastic.
Happy
human.
birthday, Pete.
Yeah, it was just his birthday.
Yeah.
Birthday last week.
Yeah, so here's to Pete.
Good old Pete. I went to Triangle Spirits in Fremont, which was the Triangle Tavern when we were a kid. And then it was
Yeah.
like 9 million in unmarked bills or something like that. And now it is Triangle Spirits. And Karuna and I got a drink and chatted about our book projects.
Cool.
And I had a happy hour chicken tendies meal with fries, which was pretty good for $10.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not
It
bad.
was
I-
very serviceable. I enjoyed it. Yep.
I've been meaning to check out that happy hour menu because it looks really good.
Yeah,
And
the fried chicken was great.
yeah, there's lots of things on there that look really
I liked it a lot. I
interesting
had
and-
sort of like a pear flavored G&T cocktail. It was great.
You were talking about a $6 daiquiri at Navy Strength for happy
Yeah.
hour, and they kind of have a similar thing going on at Triangle, right? We're
They
just
were
like
cheap, yeah.
There's like a Vue Carré for I think like $7-8
Something like that. Karina paid. But yes, I think you're right.
Yeah. Anyway,
I went to the Giddy Sloth, which is about a year old. It's in Pinehurst, up on 15th and 125th or something like that in the bottom.
Really?
Yeah, it's up there. It's by the Pinehurst pub,
Yeah.
like kitty corner. It's in the bottom of a condo building or an apartment building. Really cute Costa Rican coffee. The guy, Carlos Chavez, is originally from Costa Rica, but he moved here when he was like 13 or 14. And he and his girlfriend, Christina, do like single origin, like roasted on-site coffee. And he's
That's
a
so cool.
coffee dork, right?
Yeah.
So he's doing pour overs. He's doing a chorreado, which is sort of a specific kind of filter it's got a fabric filter.
yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful coffee. There's a bunch of different coffee drinks. They do coffee mocktails. They do Costa Rican pastries like a guava and cheese pastry.
Yum.
I had a very good elote, a tamal de elote, which is similar to kind of like a butter mochi, but it's cornstarch instead of rice. Very, very good, kind of vanilla scented. You wouldn't think it would be good, but it was like a butter mochi. It was very, very good.
It looked really great on your Instagram.
Yeah,
Let's say that.
it
for
was
sure.
delicious.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed chatting with them. Yeah, it's all single origin. They have an electric roaster and they roast on site.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I
It's
love
very
it
interesting.
when-
I'm going to go back and chat with them some more and try to write a story about it.
So they're doing pretty small batches in that roaster, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And it smells great because they're roasting coffee.
Yeah, I always love it when a coffee shop roasts their own coffee.
Yeah.
That is such a end-to-end kind of experience with coffee.
Little teeny tiny spot with like maybe five stools, but they have like an outdoor plaza, which is how you would do it in Costa Rica. You'd use the outdoor space as well. So.
Do they get into like doing cuppings there? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the answer to that. I just was there for a minute and chatted with them, but I really enjoyed it.
Bad.
And they have Costa Rican like candy bars and stuff. So if you're from Central America, you can get cookies and candies and stuff.
That's a place to check out for sure. Cool.
On our way to Tulips in Skagit County, my mom had to use the bathroom. And so we went to Wallingford. We were trying to go to TNT Taqueria, but you can't use the bathroom inside. That's where my nephew wanted to go. He wanted to go to TNT and get tacos.
Yeah.
And so we parked and they wouldn't let us use the bathroom because you can't sit inside. It's just a taco window. But
I thought they had like a strip.
I did too. And I went in there and it was like they were using all the tables for like.
Oh, that's probably
prep.
like post-COVID.
Yeah. So they were like, what are you doing in here? So
like,
instead we had parked in front of Murphy's on 45th.
Nice.
And so we went into Murphy's. It was really nice.
I haven't been in there in about
It was lovely. I hadn't been in there in 10 years. And I got the patty melt, like patty, like Irish.
Patty.
Yeah. Paddy. It was delicious. My mom got like a beer battered cod and chips. It was beautiful. I enjoyed it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Rad.
I think that's it. Oh, we went to Robin's. You want to talk about Robin's?
Oh, yeah. So Robin's Restaurant and Market opened up on Stoneway in the former Art of the Table space. And so they're doing a breakfast, lunch, dinner menu. And I think the breakfast and lunch menu is kind of diner inspired. It's sort of like a higher end diner in a way. And then the dinner menu is, I think, a lot more composed plates. It doesn't really, at least what we got there didn't really suggest a diner kind of
no, it seemed a little
aesthetic,
more high end. And there were not wine pairings, but there was wine and wine for sale, like by the bottle.
Okay, so is the wine part the market part, or is there a larger market part as well?
Yeah, and it's most of the market part. They're selling cookbooks.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I
They
think
had a few other
pantry
items. Yeah, they had pantry items. They had like special salt that you can buy.
Yeah.
And the wine that we had was by Story in a Bottle, which is a wine shop in Bellevue, and we really liked the wine. The wine
there
was
were
lovely.
some fantastic wines
Yeah,
there.
I like that Falagina
That was one of my favorites.
and the Lambrusco. Yeah.
There was also a really beautiful New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
Just real big grapefruit nose, grapefruit
Yeah.
flavor. It was fantastic.
We really liked all the wines, I think.
The wines are beautiful. Yeah, it's a very large space. I think the breakfast and lunch menu looks real interesting to me. I want to go back and try that for sure. They have that cool bar kind of wrap around in front of the kitchen, and it really gives sort of a high-end diner sort of feel to it. And I think it really lends well to that kind of concept.
I like that giant carrot cake.
That carrot cake was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there raisins in it?
No,
raisins.
and Mark appreciated that. I would have taken raisins, but I didn't need them.
Yeah.
I don't think raisins have any place in really any.
I'm not like a major carrot cake fan, but it was delicious. I was stuffed and I still ate like two big fucking carved off slices of it. So.
It was a generous piece too. I would say that was like an eighth of a cake, which is a very generous slice. The way a cake is sliced, like burly. Yeah.
That's like if you've ever been to Union Saloon, they have a German chocolate cake and it is a slab.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Union Saloon is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a great place.
I've never been there.
Oh, it's a great little neighborhood bar and restaurant.
Where?
They have good fried chicken.
Where?
It's on Wallingford Ave, I think.
Yeah, kind of deep south on Wallingford, like further south on Wallingford than you would go and thinking you're in
neighborhoody.
Yeah.
Probably if you headed east from Robin's, you'd run into it.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Is that going to do it for the week?
I think that should do it. Yeah.
Next week we've got Trin Nguyen from Ramy.
Yeah, from Ramy and
cool.
Basa.
She's fantastic.
Yeah, really beautiful Vietnamese food over at Ramy. If you haven't been there, they've got a really great happy hour right now too. That I visited and it was.
They need more attention. Ramy.
They really do.
Ramy's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the former Omega Usery space over in Capitol Hill, right next door to New.
Beautiful spot.
And Spinace.
Yeah. So it'll be fantastic to chat with her and find out more about what they're doing over there.
Jackie, do you have any stories you want to plug that you want to point people toward? I mean, you're Seattle Times, so everyone will see it anyway.
Everyone
made that Mariners face.
Everyone reads me. I did.
Did you write anything this week that people might want to read?
Oh, well, Read My Neighborhood Eats. That comes out on Tuesday.
Okay.
And not anything else I can talk about.
Okay. Sounds
All right.
good. Mark,
Sounds
did you write anything?
Not this week. Did you write anything this week?
Yeah, I wrote about Ahame show in public display art, which should be out tomorrow. I wrote about the Local 104.
Oh, yeah.
For Seattle Mag.
Yeah.
My editor was out of town all week, so I wrote it last week, but it'll run this coming week. And I got to update that Eater essential bars map. And it's like essential Seattle bars.
Oh, yeah.
So it's difficult because you have to think about, it's a good bar, but is it essentially Seattle? Is it the Seattle-ist bar? That's what you have to consider when you're
What does it mean to be the Seattle-ist bar?
It's heavy. And can you add a bar that's younger than 10 years or 20 years old?
I mean...
I'm going to.
Yeah. I think
I'm going to. I have my bars. I know who I'm going to add. So.
Anyone that survived the pandemic shutdown
basically
is in, as far as...
Or someone that I see enduring or that just embodies the spirit of Seattle, which I'm an expert on. Jackie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so much
I love you. I'm happy to see your smiling face.
Same.
Thank you for joining us. This is fun.
Thanks for having me.
Good chat, everybody.
Till next week, everyone.